Welcome to Ethics Training. Today's training we are going to talk about ethics. Ethics means the rules, principles, and standards of deciding what is morally right or wrong when working. Introduction to Ethics in Staffing. Why ethics matter. Ethical staffing protects the company's reputation, ensures legal compliance, and promotes a fair work environment. Your role in fair hiring. Internal associates make daily decisions that impact workers' livelihoods and must uphold ethical standards. Consequences of unethical practices, legal penalties, EEOC violations, discrimination lawsuits, loss of trust from clients and workers, and negative impact on company culture. Ethical decision-making in staffing. Identifying ethical dilemmas. Client asks for a specific ethnicity or gender for a job. Pressure to fill a position quickly without proper vetting. Worker complaints about unfair treatment. Avoiding conflicts of interest. Is closing relationships with job candidates. Not accepting personal favors from applicants or clients. Maintaining confidentiality. Protecting personal information of applicants. Not discussing worker details outside of professional settings. Handling difficult situations. Responding to client requests for certain types of workers. We match candidates based on skills and qualifications, not personal characteristics. If a client insists, escalate to management. Balancing speed versus fairness in hiring. Ensure due diligence in screening and placing workers. Do not bypass ethical standards to meet quotas. Handling worker concerns. Listen actively to complaints. Document issues and follow company procedures for resolution. Case studies on ethical dilemmas. Relatives or friends looking for a job. Scenario. Mary, a recruiter, receives an application from her cousin for a warehouse job. She knows he needs work but is unsure if hiring him would be ethical. Ethical consideration. Hiring family members can lead to perceptions of favoritism and potential conflicts of interest. Best practice. Mary should disclose the relationship to her manager and ensure her cousin goes through the same hiring process as any other candidate. Perception of favoritism when placing someone at a specific company. Scenario. David, a recruiter, assigns his friend to a high-paying forklift position at a client company. Other associates feel this was unfair. Even though David claims his friend was the best candidate. Ethical consideration. Even if a candidate is qualified, favoritism or the perception of it can damage trust among employees and coworkers. Best practice. David should document the hiring process, ensuring transparency and equal opportunity for all candidates. Perception that a worker must do favors for a recruiter to get or keep a job. Scenario. Joseph, a temporary worker, believes he needs to buy lunch for his recruiter Sarah, to stay in good standing for job placements. Ethical consideration. This could create a culture of coercion and unfair treatment, where workers feel pressured to give gifts or favors for employment. Best practice. Sarah should make it clear that job assignments are based solely on qualifications and performance, and the company should reinforce policies against such practices. Pressure from a client to discriminate. Scenario. A client requests only younger workers for a physically demanding job, implying that older candidates won't keep up. Carla, a recruiter, knows that age discrimination is illegal but fears losing the client. Ethical consideration. Complying would violate anti-discrimination laws and ethical hiring practices. Best practice. Carla should explain that job placements are based on skills and qualifications, not age, and offer candidates who meet the physical requirements, regardless of age. Misleading job descriptions to attract candidates. Scenario. A manager asks Samuel to advertise a job as full-time to attract more applicants. Even though it's only temporary, Samuel feels uncomfortable about misleading candidates. Ethical consideration. False advertising damages trust and leads to high turnover when candidates discover the truth. Best practice. Samuel should list the position accurately and highlight its benefits, such as gaining experience or networking opportunities, to attract the right candidates. Pressure to place unqualified candidates. Scenario. Megan's manager pressures her to place more candidates quickly to meet monthly quotas. She is tempted to send applicants who don't fully meet job qualifications just to hit her target. Ethical consideration. Placing unqualified candidates may lead to safety risks, poor performance, and damage to the company's reputation. Best practice. Megan should communicate the importance of placing qualified candidates and suggest alternative ways to meet goals, such as improving recruitment strategies. Participation in tandas, borrowing or lending money. Scenario: Sophia, a recruiter, organizes a tanda with some temporary workers. While she sees it as a way to help workers save money, others feel pressured to join, worried that opting out may affect their job placements. Ethical consideration: mixing financial dealings with professional relationships can lead to favoritism, perceived coercion, or conflicts of interest. Best practice: Sophia should keep financial activities separate from work relationships and avoid any situation where workers feel obligated to participate in personal financial arrangements. Romantic relationships with associates or subordinates. Scenario: Jordan, a recruiter, starts dating a temporary worker he placed at a job site. Other workers suspect she is receiving better job opportunities because of their relationship, leading to complaints of unfair treatment. Ethical consideration: workplace relationships can lead to perceived or actual favoritism, conflicts of interest, and legal risks for the company. Best practice: Jordan should disclose the relationship to management and remove himself from any hiring or placement decisions involving his partner to ensure fairness and transparency. Reporting and accountability. Concerned about unethical behavior? Contact HR or your manager. Consequences for ethics violations: verbal and written warnings, termination in severe cases, legal action if laws are broken. Creating a culture of ethical practices. Lead by example. Encourage colleagues to uphold ethical standards. Remember, if you wouldn't want HR to find out, it's probably unethical. Do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Thank you for watching. After this training you will receive a quiz via email. If you do not receive it in 24 hours, please reach out to HR.